Alright everybody, welcome back to Path to the Podium, episode 14, and if I look a little bit different today, it's because I don't really have my headphones on. I'll show you guys real quick. I went to go pick them up to record this video, and this happened. It was, just kind of like pick it up and snap. So, I need to get new headphones, but you guys are getting the headphone-less look today. I mean, I don't need sound for this, so we should be pretty fine. But if you guys enjoy this video anyway, please leave a like and subscribe. We just hit 16 subscribers, trying to hit 20 by the end of February. That would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, let's try getting into this Colts team. So this Colts team is really on the back of what Anthony Richardson can do as a starter. Anthony Richardson he had a really good start to his career. His first 4 games, when healthy, he looked very good. And that kind of gave him a really low tolerance with people. So when they see him this year and how he's regressed, they don't like it at all. Because you have this guy who's like, oh my gosh, he was so good last year and now he's bad. Like, what just happened? Even though he was hurt for a while. I think you have to give him time and he'll be a really good player, right? Running back, Jonathan Taylor, elite back in this league, no doubt about it. Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, and Adonai Mitchell may be the most mid wide receiver core in the league. All these guys are really good on their day, but they can have really bad games too. But overall, I don't think I'm going to touch this wide receiver room too much because I think all 4 of these guys are still going to be on this team next year. I don't think I'll have to re-sign any of them. Kylan Granson, we're going to be talking about him. And then offensive line, not terrible. Could use a tackle, but overall not terrible. Defense, also not the worst thing in the world. This team was close to making the playoffs. I mean, people don't want to admit it, but they're pretty close to making this playoffs. So, without further ado, they have $32 million in cap space. Who do we want to cut / restructure? Braden Smith, how did you do last year? Because you were our right tackle. You are questionable. Were you hurt a lot of the year? Do you have no stats? He's in his 7th season. Can I have some stats? Hello? I guess they don't do offensive line stats. But overall, I mean, he's still a great tackle. I think we'll just keep the money. I don't think they're going to cut him. So, Jonathan Taylor, Grover Stewart. Honestly, when you have... Just go back. We already have DeForest Buckner, right? Who we're paying a lot of money to. Do I want to pay more money to Grover Stewart? That's a question. Samson Ebukam, I do like him too. I think he's underrated. Okay, never mind. Raekwon Davis, we are going to cut you to gain some more money in the end of the year. Who else do we got? Ryman we want to keep. Roddy Thomas we want to keep. Obviously, we want to keep the punter. Overall, I think Ogletree we can get rid of. We don't really want them. The corners can stay. Isaiah Land, was he a starting linebacker, I guess? He doesn't look like it. Where even is he? Yeah. Land, you're probably a special teamer, but you're going away. Sorry, Land. So we cut these 3 guys, Raekwon Davis, Ogletree, and Isaiah Land. Now let's look at how we have to re-sign. We have to re-sign, overall, EJ Speed. He's important. Ronnie Harrison? No, not really important. Ryan Kelly, he's important. And Will Fries, because I think Will Fries is our starting guard. He is. Okay, so let's look at Colts interior offensive linemen and see what they were making. So guard for the Indianapolis Colts. Where are you? Indianapolis Colts. Here we go. So Fries was on a rookie deal, and Ryan Kelly was on a 4-year, $12.5 million a year deal, which ends now at age 30. I'm definitely cool bringing him back for a year or two. If we can go 11.5 mil over 2 years with 35% guaranteed, he takes it. I want to keep this offensive line together. This offensive line played really well last year, and I do want to keep them together. So Will Fries was on a rookie deal, and guards make an average of like $2 million a year. So could I do? Let's try. There's no penalty for doing bad offers, and he accepts it. Perfect. So now we have our starting guard and our starting center back. Trey Sermon, the backup running back, he dropped that pass, I think last year, or was it 2 years ago? I don't remember what it was, but they ruined the season for the Colts. EJ Speed is the other guy we need, right? So what was he on? I think, if I remember correctly, he was a 2-year, $4 million a year deal. I'm cool with giving him the same thing again. 2 years, $4 million a year. Rejected. Okay. How about 2 years, $4.5 million? Same thing. 35%. He accepts it. Good. I like that. Oyeng, he is okay. No, he's the third. Ebukam, Quiddipe. Any of these guys? No. Goodson, no. Brian, no. All right, overall, I think we're just going to let everyone else test out the market. Julian Blackmon. He's another guy we're going to probably need back because he's our starting safety. After this, we're going to let the people test free agency. It was a 1-year, 3.7. I actually like it again. He was a solid safety for us last year. So just give him 40% guaranteed. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt. But overall, yeah, I think re-signing those 4 guys, we have $20 million left in cap space. Let's see what we got. We're going to need a backup quarterback for Anthony Richardson because, we don't know how injury prone he's going to be. Running back, we need a running back backup. Wide receivers, like I said, I think that's going to be fine. Tight ends, we need. Offensive line is easily fine. I thought I cut Grover Stewart. Whatever. I guess I didn't. Interior line, edge is fine. Linebackers, might need one more. Corners, I'm cool with all the corners and safeties right now. Overall, I think signing a backup QB and a backup running back should be our priority. So let's look at quarterback. And honestly, could we re-sign Joe Flacco again? Or maybe Zach Wilson? I know Zach Wilson was still on a decent deal. Like, what if I gave him a 1-year, $2 million deal with 40% guaranteed? He's not going to hit the field. No. Come on, Zach Wilson. You are not worth that much. I'm going to try the same thing on a 1-year, but 50% guaranteed. Nope. The guaranteed probably doesn't matter to him. Because, honestly, he's probably not going to play that much. So, where are you, Zach Wilson? 2.5 mil for a 1-year, 50% guaranteed. What the fuck was Zach Wilson making last year? Where he's over $2.5 million worth. He was making $8 million a year, but that was on his rookie deal. So you're not getting paid $8 million a year. Sorry, buddy. Let's just get Case Keenum. Hopefully. I'd rather have Zach Wilson than Case Keenum, but, he's going to reject that offer too. What are backup quarterbacks making in this league now? Let's just go to a random team, the Dallas Cowboys. What's Cooper Rush making? Cooper Rush is making $2.5 million. Green Bay Packers. Malik Willis is making, but he's still on a rookie deal. Mac Jones is still on his rookie deal. Chargers. Who's the backup for the Chargers? Taylor Heineke is making $7 million a year. Rams, Jimmy G's making 3 mil. Okay, so I guess it is around 3 to 4 mil. If we do a 1 year, 4 million, 45% guaranteed. Okay, that's fine. So we get Zach Wilson to back up Anthony Richardson. That's fine. Running back, let's get, I always liked Nyheim Hines on the Colts. Let's try and sign him to a 2-year. I know he was in the Bills last year, I think it was. He was hurt all year, though. I guess he wasn't. What team was he on? I swear he was on the Bills. But overall, I mean, let's go 1.2. A 2-year 1.2 with 25% guaranteed. No. Okay. Maybe Mostert? What was Mostert making last year now that he's not on the Miami Dolphins? Is he still there? Nope. So I can't figure out what he made last year. Interesting. Okay. I mean, we can try 1.2 for 2 years and 40%. No. It really doesn't matter too much. I mean, maybe we can get Ezekiel Elliott on a 1 year. What was Ezekiel Elliott making last year? Dallas Cowboys. He made pretty much. He's still not even there. So let's just try 1.2 mil for a 1 year, 45% guaranteed. We can just, honestly, let's just try and get, we need somebody, like 2.2 mil for a 1 year, 40%. He's going to take that, and he's going to be our backup running back to Jonathan Taylor. We have 13 mil left. I want to grab, I mean, we have Zaire Franklin and a EJ Speed. I want to grab another depth linebacker. I'm kind of interested in Quan Alexander. What was he making? There's so many linebackers in this league, but they're making around. The young ones are making like 1 mil, but like the older ones and the veterans are making like 3 to 5. So if I do like a 2-year 3 point. Come on. Hello? 2 years, 3.5 mil a year, 35%. Good. 10 mil left in cap space. I'm fine with my tight end group. I'm fine with my tackles. I'm fine with my corners. I mean, who's like the best player that we can sign, really? I mean, do we want to spill on someone? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Khalil Mack for 1 year, but we got Pay and Leatu and Ebukam. Maybe, I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave it. And, 10 mil left in cap space for the next year. Overall, there's not too many other people that I'd want for this year, especially because the team is still kind of in rebuild. So, signing Zach Wilson and Ezekiel Elliott for depth, re-signing Will Fries, Ryan Kelly, EJ Speed, and Julian Blackmon, signing Anthony Walker Jr. Overall, not a terrible offseason. Maybe a little disappointing for Colts fans, but I don't think it's too bad. All right, now we got the Indianapolis Colts draft. There is one guy, and one guy only, I think the Indianapolis Colts are going to take. So let's hope that he does not get taken in this top. Yep, he is still here. I still see him. And the guy who we are going to be taking is Tyler Warren, the Penn State tight end. It is obvious from the fact that I didn't really sign any tight ends. I mean, Kyle Granson was the worst starting tight end in the league last year, and it wasn't even close. Tyler Warren is a guy who can do absolutely everything from receiving to blocking to even playing center. I mean, he literally does everything, which is crazy. And overall, I think that Tyler Warren's the best value here for the Indianapolis Colts, and he'll provide a security blanket for Anthony Richardson, and hopefully he can get that completion percentage up. Colts don't have a lot of picks in this draft, only 7. So really what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and get a couple studs, and we're going to try to improve this lineup a little bit. Where do I see a need for improvement? Wide receiver, but we already drafted a wide receiver early in the last 3 years, or 2 years, I should say. Josh Downs, A.D. Mitchell. So it's probably going to be a later guy. I see some edge rushers, an offensive tackle, a running back, a Yominor, an offensive guard, a corner. I'm going to go with the corner out of Kentucky, though, Maxwell Hairston. I see a lot of people putting this guy in their first round now, too. A lot of people really like him, and I feel like, you have Juju Brents, Jalen Jones, Kenny Moore. You have a lot of guys who are decent, but you need that number one guy. And Maxwell Hairston is very good at corner. And hopefully he can be a number one guy for this Colts team. Maybe in the nickel, maybe in the outside. Who knows? But yeah, depth corner, tight end. What do we want next? I'm good on all these positions. Maybe a tackle. Holland Pierce out of Rutgers could be an option. Guard and center I'm fine with for right now. But I think the big thing comes on defense. I see Alfred Collins here out of Texas. Great D tackle. Josiah Stewart out of Michigan. Jay Higgins out of Iowa. And we just took secondaries. We're probably not going to take another guy. I do like Kevin Winston Jr., though. Nick Cross and Julian Blackman are decent safeties. So I'm kind of cool with keeping him here. Overall, I see 2 receivers at the top of the board. Actually, I see a lot of receivers at the top of the board. My next pick is at 116, though. So overall, getting a second rounder from next year, nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go with the offensive tackle out of Rutgers, Holland Pierce. I don't hate their offensive tackles. Braden Smith and Bernard Ryman are decent, but if Holland Pierce can jump into this offensive line and be a stud left tackle for Anthony Richardson, then that can really help his development. Now with pick 116 here, I see another center, I see tackles, I see wide receivers. I think I'm gonna go with an edge rusher because we could use some depth at that position. And I think I'm gonna go the Central Arkansas 6'1", 267 edge rusher, David Walker. He's a decent prospect. We need a guy on the edge, and I feel like he can fill a hole there, or he might not. You never know, but I think that it's a decent price to pay, 116. And then next thing, now we're going to start taking and stabbing at some skill position players. And the first guy we're going to stab at is Nick Nash, probably the best wide receiver in this year. I don't know why he's being drafted in the 5th round, but this is where he's projected to be, and I think that he can go as high as like 4 or 3. Because of how much of a good receiver season he had. He's kind of like Harold Fannin Jr. in the fact that, yes, he didn't play in the best conference with the best team, but he still put up a lot of numbers. And so having Nick Nash on the Colts in this loaded wide receiver room could be decent, especially if one of them goes out. Michael Pittman's been injury prone. I think A.D. Mitchell had a couple injuries this season. But, yeah, Nick Nash is our next guy. We just lost out on a running back, Jaquavius Marks. So it really comes down to which one of these running backs I like the most. And which one do I think can be the best in this league. They're going to be behind Jonathan Taylor. They're not going to be getting too many reps. However, I think the answer out of all these guys is the Texas Tech running back, Taj Brooks. He's elusive. He's really good, and I think he's a bit underrated in this draft. I would definitely take him over these 4 guys too. So call it a reach. I'm going Taj Brooks in the 6th round. Take a shot at him. He could be decent. He could be not decent, and I think he could be more decent rather than non-decent. And lastly, we are going to need another backup quarterback apart from Zach Wilson in case Anthony Richardson doesn't work out. But I don't really see anyone I like here. So we're going to pass on the quarterback talent here, even though, there's not much. The last guy I probably would have taken would be Riley Leonard, but he probably went earlier. What was the last quarterback that went? I wonder. It probably was Riley Leonard, but it was Curtis Rourke out of Indiana. Yeah, he's probably the last guy that I think is draftable. So honestly, we're just going to go get some interior offensive line depth and take Cooper Mays out of Tennessee. He's a solid offensive lineman. That's all I really have to say about him. I haven't really seen him play too much, but, overall, getting some depth for the guard positions, like under Quentin Nelson, Will Fries, and Dalton Tucker, is pretty decent, not too shabby. So overall, Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor with Taj Brooks at the backup, Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, A.D. Mitchell, and Nick Nash, as well as Tyler Warren, the new big boy at tight end, Bernard Ryman, Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, and Braden Smith with Holland Pierce and Cooper Mays at backup. You've got Kwity Samson Ebukam with David Walker as some depth. You got Zach Wilson and Ezekiel Elliott as depth 2, EJ Speed, Zaire Franklin, and Anthony Walker Jr. as some linebackers. Juju Brents, Jalen Jones, Kenny Moore, Maxwell Hairsteen, Julian Blackman too, as well as Nick Cross. I think this team is a team that is so reliant on the quarterback play. If Anthony Richardson can take another step forward this year instead of a step back, I feel like he can be a lot better of a team. And this team did get better overall in this offseason. We didn't lose any of our studs. And, overall, I kind of have the Colts in the same position at barely missed. However, I think that they could be as low as number 1 pick contention and as high as playoff locks. I think that they'll be around the same spot, but this is probably one of the more volatile teams in the league this year. So that's the Indianapolis Colts episode. I hope you guys enjoy this series and enjoyed this episode. And next time we're going to be talking about the Atlanta Falcons. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.